talked about inappropriate ways to take samples that yielded a sample that was not representative of the entire population. In the next couple videos, we're going to look at methods for sampling that do yield a sample representative of the population. The most basic approach is aptly called the simple random sample, and the key result here is that all participants are equally likely to be chosen. The analogy I like to use is drawing names from a hat. So our two steps here are first, defining the sampling frame. In our analogy, that's writing down all the names and tossing them in the hat. In practice, we're going to label all members of the population with a numerical label. And then the second step depends on the amount of technology you have available, but this is, in our analogy, drawing the names from the hat. So use a random number generator, or if you want to go old school, use a table. I'll show you both ways here to select the sample. So let's take a look at an example of a school district who is going to be audited, and they have a lot of different accounts in the school district. Some schools have over 100. The auditors can't look at all of the accounts, so they're typically just take a sample. In this case, we're going to take a simple random sample where all of the accounts are equally likely to be chosen. In this example, our school district has 60 accounts, and we want to take a random sample of 8 accounts. So let's do this a couple of ways. First, on the calculator. So I have a TI-84 Plus here. You guys may have something similar. The first, we might set the seed so we can all get the same results. I'm going to actually skip this step. So we might get, actually, I won't skip it. Let's all do different numbers here. So we're going to go to Store down here at the bottom, and then Math, Probability. So we're going to go over to the probability menu and select Rand. And that's going to give us kind of a random starting point, and then just press Enter. Then we're going to go to our Math menu again. And we're going to go back to Probability. And this time we're going to select a random integer. So this will give us our random sample. So we'll select Enter here, and we need to give it a few arguments. You'll see in your notes here our lower. So since we're dealing with 60 school accounts, our lower number is going to be 1, accounts labeled 1 to 60, and then how many items I want. I want to select 8 random accounts or 8 random numbers from my accounts labeled 1 to 60. So back over here, we've got 1 to 60. And we want 8 random accounts. We'll press Enter, and we should get a list of 8 random accounts here. So I'm going to write that down here. We get accounts 57, 55, 9, 31, 25. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 written down. We need 3 more, so just use your arrows here to scroll over on your list to see the remaining ones. So our last 3 are 45, 3, and 21. 45, 3, and 21. So there's a way we can, sorry this is a bit messy, but there's our way we can use the calculator to get our simple random sample, or 8 numbers, 8 school accounts, from those that were labeled 1 to 60. If you don't have a calculator, you can use a table. Here I'm going to suggest everybody starting at row 105 for continuity. Since our accounts are labeled with 2-digit numbers, let's look every 2 digits. The first 2-digit number is 43, so that could be one of our accounts because it's between 1 and 60. The next 2-digit number is 67. That's not between 1 and 60, so we're not going to use that. Ignore these breaks, it's just to make it easier to read. So the next 2-digit number is 07, or account 7, so we will use that one. Carry on, 34, 57 would be the next one, 22 would be the next one, and I'm just going to put ellipses here. Keep going in the same manner until you get all 8 accounts. If you don't get 8 before you run off the line, just keep going to the next line. So 2 different methods. Calculator or using the table to find your random sample from your labeled population. If there are 120 accounts, how would we do this? Our sampling frame would change. It would be from 1 to 120. On the table, we'd be looking at groups of 3 digits. So for example, 374, not between 1 and 120. 777, not between 1 and 120, and so on, until you get your 8 accounts. If you're using the calculator, your lower would still be 1. Your upper would now change to 120 because we have 120 accounts, and we're still choosing 8 of them.